Good morning everyone, welcome in this class. In our last class, we have discussed about what is the meaning of secularism. Today, we will discuss our last two subtopics, that is why it is important to separate religion from the state and what is Indian secularism. So, let's start our class. So, what is secularism according to the Indian context? In our last video, we have seen a brief recap of what is happening in United States of America and what is happening in India. But actually, according to the Constitution of India, Constitution clearly specified that we as Indians have a right to follow any religion irrespective of your influence by anybody else, and the state does not consider your religion to be any benefit for you. So, secularism is nothing but religion is not a part. All religions are equal. Everybody, either he may be a Hindu, he may be a Muslim, he may be a Christian, he may be a Buddhist, he may be a Parsi, whatever he may be, he is a citizen of India. He has the right to follow any religion, and this is the key factor of secularism. As the time passed on, why should we separate religion? What is the base for this? Many of the educated people have the same doubts. See, for example, in order to understand why a religion has to be separated, it is something like this. If a majority of people follow a particular religion called Hinduism and others are minority like Christian 2%, Muslim 2%, Buddhist 1%. So, if religion is not separated from the power or the government, then the 85% of people can easily influence the government or make the acts of the laws of the government to control in such a way like which create problems for minority communities to practice their rules and regulations or religious practices easily or comfortably. It becomes a threat for them literally to their growth. They are not free to follow anything and they may get fundamental rights getting banned because these religious people having hold over the government which is working on. So, religion which is dominate here will automatically make the government to control the other religious people. This is one of the hidden focus angle of the Indian constitution setup when they started to discuss about this. They assured that even the small minority group which has only 1% of people following it also should have the equal respect and ability available equal to them in all aspects irrespective of the people, those who are following it. All religions are having equal importance like Hinduism. This is the key factor which requires for us, that is the basic reason why religion got separated from the power. Even in United States also, same key factor are applying there also. Even if you are in United States, none of them has to make a controversial statement using the word of religion. Neither the government can make nor religious body can make. It is the religious bodies will have certain rights to certain extent, but it should not harm the interest of the communities also. In this way, religion has to be separated. This is a very good concept because today we are in the modern world where religion plays a very minor role and we have to grow ourselves as human being, respecting each other's religion and move ahead. So, What does Indian secularism actually frame in the Constitution? What are the special provisions given in the Constitution? How to understand what is the actual behavior of the Indian Constitution? Moving on to the basic fundamental factors in the Indian context, that is, what is Indian secularism? According to the Indian Constitution, India has been declared as a secular state, but the first principle is non-domination, means any religious group, either it may be in the majority or in minority, should not dominate the other religious group. Everyone has equal importance. Second one is staying in religious interference. The government also interfere in the religious matters if necessary, because, for example, in the Hinduism we have untouchability, dominating the lower caste people, etc. Staying in religious interference here in the Indian context, we find the Indian government interfering into the religious matters if it feels that it is hurting the sentiments of the other religions. In order to maintain the uniformity and in order to ensure equality and equal respect for all the religions, sometimes Indian government ensures and interferes in the religious matter. For example, take Hinduism. In Hinduism, we have the lower caste segments of divisions where the untouchability is still followed, even though Indian Constitution has banned it. So, the government interferes wherever there is untouchability, domination going on, and tries to correct that kinds of social evils which are happening. So here, apart from United States, in India we have certain interference of the government into the religious matters whenever it hurts the interest of the other religion or the humanitarian ground. But in United States, we don't have that division of separation. They stay far away from each other. The state does not interfere in the religious matter, and religion does not move close to the political affairs. But in India, that does not look like that, because Indian secular system is different only in that part when compared to United States. India does not maintain that division between the state and the religion, whereas USA has to maintain it. Main point is, even though India have been guarantees the secularism even in some areas where Hindus are dominating the Muslims and Muslims are dominating the Hindus. So, in order to ensure both of them has been secular, especially we find this kind of disturbance more in the Uttar Pradesh region. So, to have balance on this, Indian government always stands in the middle and tries to stop both of them and try to make equal respect for both of them. Never hurts any religion. And Indian government also provides certain kinds of legal status for the religious bodies to set up their own missionary schools, their own laws, their own rules and regulations restricted only for their school, and also provide financial aids for them and does not interfere in the administrational matters of that kind of place. So, Indian secular setup is really a very good setup where it respects each and every religion equally like the other majority religion. Here we have to understand very clearly When we compare with the Indian religion text with United States secular text, we find a clear difference that in one aspect where Indian government interferes in religious aspects also if there any trouble shooting up, but United States very rarely interferes because they have that division of religion and state. Here we have to understand very clearly that whether India is following the religious context or secularistic principle properly or not, it is not that what is mentioned in the constitution, was it be really executed properly or not, is India a secular state or not, that has to be analyzed very clearly. We have a country called Saudi Arabia where majority of them believes in the religion of Islam. But still we have permission to build temples there. We have permission to build churches there. But in some countries it was banned thoroughly. You have to follow certain rules and regulations what they are following. So, India stands on the democratic principle. At the same way, India also guarantees secularistic principle for the citizen of India and ensures if anybody violates them, Indian government always stands first to correct them and to bring peace there wherever peace endangered. So, this is the guaranteed approach toward the Indian secularism which is being done in United States also. So, we are very lucky we have secularistic attitude and we have to see that Indian government stands for the secularistic principle and not moving towards in the favor of any religion. We have changing of the governments, but this should not affect the religious attitude of the people. The leaders may change, the constitution does not change. As Supreme Court held the words in Keshav Chandra Bharti case that basic structure of the constitution cannot be amended. So, constitution is supreme and it is the life document, you have to respect it. We cannot change it. So, Indian secularism is granted by the constitution and right to religious freedom are given to all the individuals equally, irrespective of their religion, what they follow. So let us hope Indian secularism will stay alive and go on further, having a friendly relationship between all the religious people, and India will merge as a secularistic nation in full place with all corners of India. So with this, our chapter number 2 is complete and we'll start new chapter in our next class.